Oddworld Soulstorm marks the most drastic design update to Oddworld that there's ever been, with even Abe getting a redesign. Consequently, I thought it might be interesting to take a look at the designs of characters from Soulstorm and compare them to their original counterparts. The first one is obviously going to be Abe himself, the main character. Now personally, I was kind of against this at first. Abe has such an iconic look for Oddworld standards, and when I first saw that picture of him I didn't realise it was him until long after, when I guess saw it was mentioned it was him. I kind of feel that they shouldn't have played around with him that much, but at the same time I guess Lorne Lanning wants Soulstorm to be what he was unable to do back in the 90s, and consequently it could be fair to say that this is the true look of Abe, at least to Lorne. To be fair, looking at it now, he generally hasn't changed that much. The main difference really is just the shape of his head, and the face is slightly different and just to me looks kind of unproportionate. His eyes look too big, I guess. But then they were big in the original version as well. Maybe his eyes are simply big compared to his newly shaped head, maybe, I'm not sure. This is a stupid thing to say because he's not human, but he just kind of looks less human than he did to me, if that makes sense. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I suppose, but in my opinion, I'm not exactly for this kind of drastic change in his anatomy. The main difference, I guess, is the feathers on his head. This is notable because it's long been said in Oddworld lore that Abe's species descended from birds, and the tail thing at the back of Abe's head was originally meant to be feathers, but they didn't really have the technology to do it properly back in the 90s. Consequently, in Soulstorm it seems that they've been able to do what Lorne had originally envisioned. Next character is Moloch the Glukkon. Now you have to remember this is Moloch post lightning strike, meaning he's now blinded in one eye and has a low-felt style scar down his face. However, I'm more interested in the general change in the Glukkon's appearance. His head seems to have become more rounded, which I don't think was caused by the lightning bolt. I think that's just a part of the general redesign. His eye that's working is also red and realistic as opposed to the original orange glowing eyes of his previous incarnation. The suit is also a notable change as well, perhaps representing Moloch's newly dire position as he's presumably going to be up for trial in Soulstorm. He wears a dark grey suit as opposed to his usual purple one, though this could just be a general reflection of the dark tone of Soulstorm in general, as I believe all the other Glukkons we've seen so far will also wear dark suits in the game. This could also contrast the industrialists as being dark and bad as opposed to the relatively colourful naturalists, the good guys. Speaking of which, the next character is Alf. This one is quite strange to me, as it's a very drastic redesign. We're so used to seeing Alf as he usually looks with his fez and a cup of tea, and it seems strange that they've completely changed his look. That being said, I guess he sort of just ended up becoming the representative of Oddworld Inhabitants to communicate with the Oddworld community, and perhaps it isn't so strange after all that he's getting a major redesign. Perhaps this will make him even more iconic. Either way, it's quite notable how distinct Soulstorm Alf is compared to Soulstorm Abe, in contrast to the similarities between Exoddus Alf and Exoddus Abe. I think the goal here was clearly to make Alf as distinct from Abe as they could. It should also be pointed out that Alf in Soulstorm is wearing a Rupture Farms hat and general merchandise, so I wonder if Alf might be sent by Abe to go undercover or work as a spy or something. It'd be quite an interesting and surprising gameplay element if so. Many pictures of various Glukkons have been released from Soulstorm, and they're considered to be all new characters. However, one of these characters appears to be the head of Comet Depot. Consequently, I think it's fair to say that this Glukkon's counterpart is the Vice President of FICO Depot, Aslick. And to be fair, these guys are reasonably similar. The Comet Glukkon seems to have lighter skin, much like the new Moloch did, and realistic eyes, which are blue as opposed to Aslick's red glowing eyes. The main difference seems to be that this Glukkon appears to have more of a hanging neck or something, or what's that called? You know what I mean. I believe it was important to Lorne Lanning to make every character an individual and distinct from each other, as opposed to having one main character and basing all the others on that dependent on their species. Either way, it'll be interesting to see what more designs and characters are a part of Oddworld Soulstorm.
Hello, follow me. Hehehe